One of the most interesting pieces of research out there is from a book I just love called Nudge by Thaler and Sunstein. They're researchers and they have figured out that people spend more time picking out a tennis racket than they do picking out their savings rate. Now, I don't play tennis. I haven't picked out a tennis racket, but I take their point because I certainly have spent a lot more time thinking about how to buy a car and how to negotiate it, a house, lots of different things that I spend a lot of time on. And admittedly, in a former life, really spent very little time on picking out my savings rate. We have got to change this because I would argue that the savings rate decision of every single decision in your life, right, is probably one of the most important things that we have to decide on, which is basically telling our future self, okay, I'm going to set aside this little fraction of my money right now, and I'm going to keep doing that every year so that you can one day have the ability to retire. If you're forced to do it or you choose to do it, either way, it will be an option for you to retire at the lifestyle that you're living. Okay, here's the thing though. The research on how much you need to save is really clear. And so the beauty of this is if you are in your 20s and you want to save enough to be able to retire one day, you don't even have to research it that much. You don't have to obsess about it. The number is 10%. If you save 10% and you make a pretty normal salary and you continue to advance in your life and you just save 10%, that will probably be enough. Now, people who make more money or people who are catching up, who didn't get the memo to save 10%, like so many of us in our 20s, you're going to have to catch up. And there's some really great retirement calculators out there that will help you figure out how much you need to save right now to catch up. So I would also encourage you to think a little bit about having a conversation on saving. It turns out you can have a really profound impact on someone else's ability to retire if you're willing to talk to them about it. One of my other favorite books out there is Millionaire Next Door, and there's a great iteration that came out recently called The Next Millionaire Next Door. And these people who have been able to accumulate wealth over time talk about, even though they didn't necessarily make a lot of money, they talk about the importance of people in their lives telling them to save 10%. Save this portion of your money, and here is the actual amount to save. It's a very important thing for us to be doing. And so I would challenge you to not only take on this savings for yourself, but also start this conversation. We are officially in Save 10 season, which is a movement, a campaign to get people to save 10% for retirement starting in their 20s. And if you've never heard of it and you want to join, it is really targeting women because women are especially not talking about money. They're especially not passing on this wisdom from mother to daughter, grandmother to granddaughter. So this is something that we are working to change. And so if that is you and you're interested in joining in, we have a great Facebook group called the Save 10 Facebook group, and you can look that up. Or you can also, men and women, you can codify your decision to save 10% or more by going to the save10challenge.com and signing up to make this commitment to your future self. However you want to do it is great. I hope you will take this advice and apply it today. We do know that if you're inspired to save right now, now is the best time to do it because that inspiration will definitely wane over time. Happy saving.